last two questions, Mr. President. Mr. President, the Supreme Court issued a ruling declaring the impeachment complaint against the Vice President Sara Duterte unconstitutional last July 25, 2025. Am I correct?
That is correct, Mr. President.
And some of our colleagues, some senators, criticized that such decision undermines the separation of powers. Does the chairperson agree with this position, Mr. President?
This representation, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I manifested my position on the floor, and therefore that's on record, Mr. President.
I forgot what was your manifestation, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, our position, and we continue to share this position, continue to hold on to this position, is that that we believe that there was judicial overreach. But having said that, we hope that the Supreme Court will reconsider the position that it has taken. In fact, there is a pending motion for reconsideration.
So, in short, you disagreed with the position of the Supreme Court?
That is correct. And as a co-equal branch, we will be respectful. And we have said this too, that in the end, when this is final, when the decision is final and the motion for reconsideration has been disposed of, regardless, as a lawyer, a member of the officer of the court, we will respect whatever ruling the Supreme Court will
All right.
render.
Lastly, I remember, if my memory serves me right, we had an all-senators caucus meeting when Senator Escudero was still the Senate President. And we were discussing about this impending impeachment trial of against Vice President Sara Duterte. And we were discussing a lot of issues, various issues. No? And I overheard you saying that the impeachment court is higher than the Supreme Court. Do you still stand by your statement that the impeachment court is higher than the Supreme Court? Because I am not a lawyer, but I studied law for 4 years, but I really beg to disagree that the impeachment court is higher than the Supreme Court, Mr. President.
Well, it is higher in the sense that a sitting Supreme Court justice can be dismissed on impeachment cases by the impeachment court. In that regard, we are able to hold a Supreme Court justice to account. We render judgment. So it's a novel legal question and legal argument.
You mean to tell this representation that we can summon the justices of the Supreme Court? What if they don't want to appear here? What can we do?
Well, we actually summoned.
Can we just force them to?
We actually
appear before
summoned.
the Senate?
With due respect to our colleague, we actually did have this former Supreme Court justice appear before the impeachment court.
Who?
So,
yeah,
Justice
I know
Coron.
that because it was an impeachment.
and that is the context of why I said that as an impeachment court, we are supreme in our own jurisdiction, and maybe in fact higher than the Supreme Court in that regard when it comes to impeachment processes. Because the supreme law of the land says so, that we have the sole power. Sole, it says sole power. It does not say anything else but sole power to try and decide impeachment cases.
Well, still, I beg to disagree with your opinion. I still believe in my own thoughts that the impeachment court is sui generis, and I think the impeachment court is sui generis, and I believe that the Supreme Court is still higher than anyone else, any court in particular, including the impeachment court.
In fact, Mr. President, in the impeachment case of Chief Justice Corona, when the Supreme Court issued a temporary restraining order, an injunction as to the bank accounts, I will remember this because the late Senator Enrile, who was our
Yes.
presiding officer, opted for us to vote on whether or not we would respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. In that regard, the vote was to respect the ruling.
I think that was only a resolution issued by the Supreme Court. It was not a decision.
No, it was a vote by the, I was there, Mr.
Yes,
President.
I was also there.
Yes,
I
you
was
were
also
there.
part
We
of the-
voted
was
to
also part of
respect.
the
We
impeachment
voted to
trial.
respect 1210. We voted to respect the Supreme Court ruling.
Yes,
In
I
other
know.
words, we could have voted not to. But of course, that was not the case.
Yes, I know. I was.
And it was an exercise of our exclusive power as an impeachment court.
What if it was adverse to the decision?
Well, that's
of,
speculative,
the decision
Mr.
of the Supreme
President.
Court.
The
What
point
will
is,
happen?
that's speculative, Mr. President. The point is, we voted.
Yes, I
we
know.
did not decide to just respect the Supreme Court ruling. We voted as an impeachment court.
Yes, I
we
was-
exercised our authority as the supreme or the sole power, having the sole power and sole jurisdiction to try cases.
Yes, I was also one of them who voted to respect the decision or the resolution of the Supreme Court not to open the foreign, I think it was the foreign bank accounts of the late Chief Justice Corona. What I'm asking, kung sakasakali, what if the vote was overturned? I mean, 12-10 in favor of not respecting the opinion of the Supreme Court. What will happen?
Well, it's speculative, Mr. President. It didn't happen, so.
Yeah. Being a lawyer, maybe you can educate this representation because I am
Well,
not
also
a lawyer.
being a lawyer, if it's a speculative, if I'm
Maybe we
being
can-
asked to answer a scenario that's speculative, I'd rather wait for the actual case. In this actual, and what I'm citing is the facts that when the Supreme Court ruled to enjoin us from opening, accessing the bank accounts, we opted to vote whether we would respect the Supreme Court ruling or not. That is an exercise of the authority of the impeachment court over the Supreme Court.
Maybe we can ask.
Fortunately, and I think every lawyer must strive to harmonize what may appear to be conflicting provisions of the Constitution. And the Senate then voted 12-10 to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court and harmonize both powers.
Mr. President, if I may, with the two
Yes, the
gentlemen.
leaders recognized.
Thank you. Even this last decision of the Supreme Court on Vice President Sara Duterte, we also voted 18-5-1. It was 18 in favor to archive because of the decision of the Supreme Court. So there was also a vote. 5 went against that decision to archive and 1 abstention. That's our presiding officer. So we also voted at that.
And
time.
that is the exercise. That is and I agree. That is an exercise of the impeachment court, and therefore it decided to archive the case in that regard. Oh, sorry, the vote to archive was not done by the impeachment court. It was done in plenary. Yes, so that would be a different set of facts.
All right. Okay, Mr. President. Does the Supreme Court has the authority to review the impeachment proceedings for grave abuse of discretion, for example?
Final yan eh, unappealable yan.
The Supreme Court has the power to exercise.
Yung decision.
It has the when there is grave abuse of discretion, the Constitution provides that power to the Supreme Court to intervene and to correct what may have been an abuse of authority or power of other branches of government. It's the power of judicial review.
Okay, assuming we convict impeachable officer, can it be elevated to the Supreme Court? No more.
No.
The
That's what-
decision or the ruling of the impeachment court is final.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Again, maybe you can ask the opinion of maybe the court administrator or the justices of the Supreme Court here present with regard to my question propounded to you, Mr. President, with regard to the who is higher, the Supreme Court or the impeachment court.
Well, I think considering that there's still a motion for reconsideration on the positions taken by the House of Representatives, and there is a pending case, then they would prefer, yes, kulang daw ng 12. Kaya, but kidding aside, it would be sub judice.
Okay. Anyway, that's all, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Thank you for the justices of the Supreme Court, the court administrator, and to all the justices present here today. Thank you very much.
Senator Lauren.
Thank you very much to the good Senator from San Juan. Maraming salamat. Safe na ako.
Safe mga tanong mo.